This is Boadu TV, truth and integrity.
The persistent power outages known locally as dumsor has disrupted daily lives and businesses' operation, affecting productivity and economic growth. It is time for the government to take responsibility and provide real solutions instead of deflecting blames. Before I tackle this issue, I am praying in my head that the power in the room will not go off. Yes. We have transitioned from excessive power to inadequate power thanks to talkatives who are mindless about the need to continually plan our energy resources and invest in them appropriately to avert the needless dumsor we are experiencing. Let us recall how this government brought us into this mess. In their first demonic greed, led them to form what they call Power Distribution Service, PDS. This organization was successfully used to siphon financial resources from the energy sector and vanish into thin air. As we speak, we are aware they heavily owe ECG, but no one knows how much and where the money is. Their activities led to the Millennium Challenge Compact withdrawing its $190 million support to the energy sector. Additionally, the excessive borrowing money from this government did not factor addressing the problem of the sector. We should be asking what ESLA is being used for as well, and why we owe independent producers millions of dollars, which is straining their production capacity. You and I pay our electricity bill upfront, prepaid. We pay prepaid. An efficient management system should be made to be able to avoid the situation we are in today. In a few weeks, we are going to be saddled with increment in tariffs, but dumsor is not going away. Just last week, many parts of the country experienced long periods of blackout, leaving citizens without electricity for hours. This is not the first time we have seen this happen. In fact, dumsor has become a recurrent issue in Ghana, causing businesses to suffer, disrupting daily lives, and damaging our economy. This cannot continue. The effect on Ghanaians. The effect of dumsor on Ghanaians are devastating. Many businesses have been forced to shut down due to the high cost of running on generators, resulting in job losses and economic hardship for families. Students are unable to study due to the lack of electricity. Some media houses, some of them, have to close down for a period of time. Hospitals are struggling to provide necessary care to patients. It is a shame that our government has allowed this crisis to affect the lives of the citizens in such a negative way. My call to government. I am calling on government to stop their arrogance and take immediate action to solve the power crisis. We cannot continue to live in darkness while our leaders turn a blind eye. It is time for real solutions, not empty promises and excuses. We demand that the energy minister and his staff be held accountable for the management of the ECG, and that competent individual with a track record of success be appointed to lead the company. The power crisis, or dumsor, is a national issue that requires urgent attention, action from the government, and we will not sit idle by while our country suffers. The All People's Congress urged the government to put the interests of the citizens first and work towards providing a sustainable and a reliable power supply for all. If they cannot manage ECG, I am ready to take over. Privatize it, and I will buy it. Recent flight mode. Currently, we are in the rainy season. The perennial flood are occurring and taking several lives and destroying properties. The government has lost any acumen in addressing the problem beyond awarding contracts for dredging and siphoning funds from it. How can we stop the floods with this attitude? Waste management has become a burden despite the huge resources government commit to it. Most of our gutters are choked with filth. You cannot drive through the rains in Accra. The capital that was touted to become the cleanest city in Africa under this government, we need a rethink. For 8 years, when they have failed and are leaving, they say it is possible. What is possible? The recent flood in the city is very alarming and needs urgent attention. Yet the government has neglected to take appropriate action. One may say the government has not neglected the issue, but the truth is that they do not prioritize the well-being of Ghanaians. How can we trust a government that approved $200 million in 2019 to create a drainage system, and 5 years down the lane, the drainage is still not constructed? As we gather here today, I want to acknowledge the important role you play in shaping the narratives, influencing public opinion, and inspiring change. Your work has the power to educate, inspire, inform, and bring people together. Addressing the depreciation of the Ghana cedi. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana cedi has experienced significant depreciation against major currencies such as the US dollar, euro, and the British pound. This has led to increased cost of imported goods and services, contributing to inflation and economic instability. I recall in 2016, when then candidate Nana Akufo-Addo, who touted the importance of his then running mate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and he said he was the person who helped vice president before to stabilize the city, and hence his reason for making him the running mate, so that he will help manage the city when they were in power. Today, they are in power. The city has become the worst currency under the so-called economic messiah, Dr. Bawumia. Ghanaian businessmen and women are becoming poorer against their counterparts in other countries due to the high rate of the depreciation of the Ghana cedi. The government of Ghana loses over 10 billion Ghana cedis due to the cedi depreciation. I don't know how many of you have changed dollars recently, or euro, or pounds. But no one can dispute the fact that the Bawumia-led economic management team has done a woeful job in keeping the cedi afloat. There is no strength in the cedi against the major trading currencies. The result clearly is the high cost of doing business, which automatically leads to high unbearable cost of goods and services. Your purchasing power has equally been reduced as your income are eroded. How can anybody afford daily livelihood? Ladies and gentlemen, what is worse is that the more government borrows from foreign exchange to shore up the local currency, the more the cedi plummets. It is strange while the MPP economic messiah looks on. I cannot understand Dr. Bawumia's logic of economic fundamentals. The fast depreciation of the Ghana cedis has become a major source of worry, economic hardship and pain, especially for the ordinary Ghanaian business owners, pensioners, traders, businesses who depend on the dollar or foreign inflow for their livelihood. Although this fast depreciation of the Ghana cedi observed is not going to be with us for a relatively long period when APC is voted to power. It is high time the Nana Addo-led government put in place measures to halt this fast depreciation of the Ghana cedi and the dependency on debt financing of the economy. The import cover is reducing. the exchange rate market is unstable. Government securities held by foreign portfolio investors have increased and yield spreading, which is a clear sign of weakness, and any of these indicators going the wrong way might prompt a steep depreciation of the cedi. The All People's Congress, as a concerned political party, has observed the unprecedented depreciation of our dear currency, the Ghana cedi, especially the erratic nature in the movement of the dollar. The pressure on the Ghana cedi remained high, with its year-to-end date depreciating against the US dollar standing at 5.5% as at the end of April, which is higher than the 4.2% recorded over the same period last year. This weakness is unusual in an election year. One of the major consequences of the cedi depreciation is the increasing numbers of businesses in Ghana that demand dollar for their services. This trend, particularly prevalent in industries such as tourism, hospitality, import and export. For example, many hotels, restaurants in Ghana price their services in dollar, which put a strain on the local currency and further weakens its value. Furthermore, the high demand for dollar has led to a scarcity of foreign exchange reserves, making it difficult for businesses to access the necessary funds to operate effectively. Holding of foreign currencies by politicians and businessmen in their homes is greatly affecting the availability of foreign currency. This has the ripple effects of the overall economy, leading to inflation, high fuel price, an increase in the cost of goods and services. The suffering of Ghanaians is evident as we struggle to make ends meet in the face of economic hardship. To address this issue, the government must put immediate action to restore the strength of the cedi. This includes implementing policies that promote economic stability, reducing corruption and mismanagement of resources, and investing in key sectors such as production, manufacturing, and industrialization. Additionally, we must prioritize the development of a national database, a national development plan to ensure sustainable growth and prosperity for all Ghanaians. The government in its capacity should ban all foreign trading in the country, shut down all businesses that charges in dollars, stop the quotation and the awards of contracts in dollars, ban opening of foreign currency accounts and close down all foreign currency accounts in Ghana, stop all hotels, businesses, airlines, landlords, schools, automobile companies, and shipping lines from quoting and charging in foreign currencies. Why should a Ghanaian patronize the services of a company in his country with dollars? Why? Can a Ghanaian charge for his services in the US in the Ghana cities? Let all be patriotic citizens and defend our nation. Another pressing issue that threatens the economic stability and prosperity of our nation, Ghana. The alarming increase in Ghana debt stock is a cause for concern, and it is imperative that immediate action be taken to address the crisis. Needless to say though, we have seen our debt stock rise from 120 billion Ghana cedis in 2017 to 638 billion now. But what do we see? Less development from much borrowing. Major infrastructure projects have been left uncompleted and created serious inconveniences. You can mention the Boadu multipurpose dam project, the Nungwa Road, Pont Barrier project, Pram Junction project, Bishabi Lamte and Takoradi PTCL interchange had few examples. The Tema Akosombo Road, Tema Mianso Road, Tema Motorway, and many others are all in limbo after noisy sword cutting years ago. And I believe you don't want to know the harrowing experience of driving on those roads. The root of this crisis lies in the combination of unnecessary borrowing and mismanagement of government funds. The lack of accountability and transparency in government operations has only aggravated the situation, leading to a balloon debt that poses a significant threat to our nation's financial well-being. It is crucial that the government conducts a comprehensive audit of all government loans and expenditure to identify areas of inefficiency and potential mismanagement. This audit will provide valuable insight into the current state of Ghana's finances and help guide future decision-making process. In addition to this audit, measures must be implemented to increase transparency and accountability in financial management. This includes establishing clear guidelines for the allocation and use of government funds, as well ensuring that all financial transactions are properly documented and reported. Fiscal discipline and responsible borrowing practice are also essential in addressing Ghana's debt crisis. The government must prioritize sustainable financial practices that do not burden future generations with excessive debt. This requires careful planning to ensure that funds are used wisely in the best interest of the Ghanaian people. Those responsible for mismanaging funds must be held accountable for their actions. It is unacceptable for individuals to misuse public funds for personal gain, and steps must be taken to ensure that such behavior is not tolerated within the government. As a concerned political party, we demand the government take immediate action to address Ghana's debt stock. Our nation's economic future depends on the decision made today, and it is our responsibility to hold our leaders accountable for their actions. Together, let us stand united in demanding a better future for Ghana. We owe it to ourselves, our children, future generations to ensure that Ghana's economy is managed with prudence and accountability. Corruption and mismanagement of. Let me brief you with some policies of the All People's Congress to the great people of Ghana. Our vision is to transform Ghana into a prosperous and a developed nation, where every citizen has access to opportunity and a decent standard of living. Our policies are designed to achieve this vision. Firstly, we will implement an economic lockdown to prevent capital flight, grow to consume, and increase productivity, and ensure that Ghana's resources benefit Ghanaians. This will help in stabilizing the economy and promote local businesses. Secondly, we will establish a national database to ensure accurate data collection and informed decision making. This will help in better planning and implementation of policies. Thirdly, we will develop a national development plan to guide Ghana's development and ensure sustainable growth, and this will provide a roadmap for the country's progress. Furthermore, we will prioritize Ghanaians' interests through our Ghanaian First policy, ensuring that our citizens benefit from this nation's natural resources. This will help in promoting local industry and creating jobs opportunities for Ghanaians. We also aim to promote a mindset shift from dependency to self-reliance and entrepreneurship through our change of mind policy. We need to change our minds. Mindset is our problem. If we do not change our mindset, even if Jesus come back, Ghana will still suffer. If the Prophet Muhammad come back, we will still not find a way. We need to change our mindset. This will empower individuals to take control of their own economic well-being. Additionally, we will establish Ghana as a hub for production, manufacturing, and industrial through our production, manufacturing, and industrial policy. This will create jobs, drive the economy drive economic growth in the country. Moreover, we will implement programs to create decent jobs for Ghana's youth through our Job for the Youth policy. This will empower the younger generation to contribute to the nation's development. We will also introduce the 24-hour economy and the 3-shift system to maximize productivity and efficiency in various sectors. This will help in boosting economic growth and create more opportunities for Ghanaians. Furthermore, we will leverage technology to enhance governance, transparency, and accountability through our e-governance policy. This will help in improving the efficiency of government operations and services. Lastly, we will work towards economic dependency by reducing Ghana's reliance on foreign aid and promote self-sufficiency. This will help in strengthening the country's economy and ensuring a brighter future for our nation. In conclusion, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, if former President Mahama had to go because of 4 cedis to $1, then I don't know why Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is running for president at 16 Ghana cedis to $1. 2, I want to advise Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the MPP to concentrate in finishing the 8 rather than breaking the 8, because there's no 8 to break. 3, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should know that Ghanaians don't have short memory. The suffering is real and escalating, so he should stop the jokes. Number four, take note of number 4. Dr. Bawumia, please stop crying for the steer. The car is not a toy. Stop crying for the steer. The car is not a toy. Number 5, the steer was given to you and your boss, and you both drove into a different direction. When the steer was given to them, instead of building Ghana, they destroyed Ghana. Instead of transforming Ghana, we are in crisis. So you don't need the steer anymore. You went to a different direction. The main direction of focusing on building Ghana, you didn't do it. So stop crying for the steer. The car is not a toy. It's a real car. Number 6, you have lost credibility as a party and as a candidate. No good policies, deceit and propaganda. Your only option left is vote buying. Because you have no credibility. No Ghanaian will vote for you. If you buy votes, maybe you get. But I don't think 2024 is for MPP or NDC. Number 7. Dr. Bawumia should watch his slogan. It is possible. Ghanaians are not listening to you anymore. You have inflicted pains and suffering on us. It is possible. Has no chance. Rather, use that resources and change the narratives. Number 8, our nation has become a banana republic under your watch, and it is pathetic, Mr. Vice President. Do not continue to hold yourself as an MPP presidential candidate. You have no chance against Hassan Ayariga. I am starting my campaign activities in the 16 regions tomorrow. We will arrive in Boadu on Thursday morning, launch the campaign at Boadu, and then move to other surrounding communities in the area. Then we move to different regions after. The itinerary of the campaign will be shared with you shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I want to thank you all again for your attention. EC has a, if I want to talk about everything, I'm sure we'll be here for the next 5 hours. So sometimes we try to limit the kind of policy so that when you ask questions like this, we can just use the few minutes to answer. Yes, EC has been doing the transfer. And for me, I am not entirely satisfied with the process of the transfer. Why? Because I have observed and I've seen and I've heard from my own party members across the country that certain political parties are transferring delegates and voters from their stronghold where they have so much votes to places where they do not have less vote in order to win. But the laws of the EC says before you transfer a vote to a particular place, you must have well lived in that place for a period of, let's say, 10 years or even a year plus. These people don't live there. That this is voter manipulation. EC is allowing them to do that without asking questions and making sure that it is done properly. You cannot just say because I'm in Ashanti region and in Swami, I have 100,000 votes and the second party gets 2,000. The third party has 500. So if I have 100,000 votes, I can win in Swami. Let me transfer 50,000 out of Swami and distribute them to places I have less votes so that I can win those seats. Or I lost by 1,000. So the MPP can send 2,000 votes, maybe to Volta region or to Upper East, where they lost by 1,000 in order to win that seat. What are we doing to ourselves? Why is the EC accepted? So these are the things I don't believe and agree the EC is doing a good job. They should monitor. Very few people can transfer and must give reasons for the transfer. You don't just open period for transfer and people just are transferring without reasons. I lived in Germany before. If I want to transfer my vote or something, I must show the reason why I'm transferring. Do we have those reasons? No, we're just doing the transfer. And this is bad for our democracy. Democracy needs upgrades. Democracy also needs we taking proper action and doing the right. Number two, you asked whether I said if President Mahama becomes president, it will be the worst. If not only President Mahama, even if Boadu becomes president, it will be disastrous. President Mahama will be the worst, but Boadu will be a disaster. You know why? Currently, President Mahama has been president before. And the situation is that where we find ourselves as a country is bad. Our economic situation is bad to the extent that anybody becoming president from the two of them will continue to live in deep crisis. Because look, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ghanaians, it is important for us to outline, it is important for us not to fall for those desperate promises made by those two political figures. Let us not forget, former President John Dramani Mahama has been president before and made numerous promises during his time in office. However, he was not able to fulfill them, yet he comes to make more promises. On the other hand, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as vice president and running mate, made grand promises during their campaign for office. But since becoming the second in command, he and his boss have failed to fulfill those promises and have instead mismanaged our economy and still making unnecessary promises. Promises have failed us. Promises have failed us. Yet, both of them have the audacity to stand before the people of Ghana and make more promises upon promises. And we have seen their track record, and it's evident they have not been able to deliver on their promises. That is why I am urging you, fellow Ghanaians, not to fall for this desperate attempt to gain votes instead. I implore you to consider a young man with a vision, a leader who has Ghanaians at heart, a leader who has shown immense dedication and has put massively striving Ghana, and that is Dr. Hassan Ayariga. I, Dr. Ayariga, has proven myself as a leader who is committed to the betterment of our country. I have a clear vision for the future of Ghana, and I've shown that I have the capabilities to bring about real change. So, my fellow Ghanaians, I urge you not to be swayed by the empty promises of these two political figures, but instead consider a leader who has the passion, drive to move our nation forward. Put your trust and hope in me, and together we'll build a strong country, Ghana. APC policies. Ladies, $600 million of frozen items. I can go on cotton and everything. All these monies go out of this country, and we are poor. Our city depreciates. And I am proposing a economic lockdown to build our country without importing, to become a sustainable country, so that all these monies will now divert into farming. $1.2 billion into rice farming. We're not importing rice anymore. Let's produce our own rice. Let's have something that the world can buy from us. Let's be self-sufficient. Let's be a production hub. Let's manage our city to the extent that $1 one city, so that we'll also be rich people in our country. We don't need the American dollar for anything. So we begin to produce, manufacture. We begin to become an industrial hub. You cannot be saying one district, one factory when you don't have a production hub. What are you going to feed the factories? What are you going to feed the factories? Start with the production, so that food will become relatively very cheap in this country. But what do? All of you here, what do? Some of you didn't even want to be journalists. You are forced to become journalists because that's where you find a job. Is it not true? I speak my mind. You want vote, you want done, but that is the truth. It's a last option for some of you. But that is not your way, that is not your destiny. We have to begin to unearth your potentials to make you become productive to our country.